Hey everyone, so if you've been following my channel over the last couple months, you've probably noticed that I've been working really hard to get 2 videos out per week. When I'm doing a gun review, typically that'll be 1 video of the week, and then there'll be some accessory review. Unfortunately, all the guns right now are currently still in testing, so this week it's going to be 2 different accessory reviews, all based around the same gun. So we're going to be focusing this week on the pistol grip here and the safety, but today specifically we're going to be talking about this enhanced safety lever. Now, just as a quick refresher, again, for those of you who've been watching the channel, this is my Riley Defense built AK-74, which was done on a Bulgarian kit. It looks very different than when I first got it, and I've been slowly making changes to it, trying to find what is going to fit my needs the best. Not necessarily married to how I have it totally set up here. However, I am very, very happy with the way this pistol grip and safety are working out, hence why it's time to do the review. So these pieces, both of them, I got from the AK Operators Union store. If you are watching this video and you are not subscribed to the AK Operators Union, you need to fix that. It's one of the best sources for AK related information on YouTube or the internet in general. So definitely make sure you check that out. But they do have their own web store, which the proceeds of that goes to continue funding that excellent channel. So when I had to buy a couple accessories for this, that was a clear choice for me to make. And I didn't get any discounts or anything over there. I paid full price over there, which with this enhanced safety, I believe this one without the notch to hold the bolt open was, I think, $39.99. I think, if that's not correct, I'll have it up here on the top of the screen. But I guess let me explain why I wanted an enhanced safety, and then we'll dig into what this one does specifically and the things that I like or maybe don't like about this one, again, specifically. So I'm hopefully not saying anything too controversial here when I say that AK ergonomics leave a little bit to be desired, at least by a modern context. Maybe in 1947, it was actually not too shabby, but you know, here, especially in the United States where we have access to AR-15s and everything else for now, the ergonomics just leave a little bit to be desired, at least in the way that rifles are typically manipulated here in the West. Now, that being said, if you look at a lot of what's going on in the special operations over in Russia, you see a lot of these enhanced safeties as well. Now, basically what it allows me to do is manipulate the safety, put it on fire and back on safe while maintaining a grip on the fire control group here. Typically, you have to keep your hand straight, swipe that thing down if you want to do it with your firing hand. There are people, especially lefties, who will use their support hand to take that thing off and on. And again, you can train and make it fairly effective, but me, I prefer that Western style of being able to have my finger on the safety, swipe it off whenever I need to, and be able to get this thing into action, and then take it, put it on safe, and make kind of a safer environment if I'm transitioning from one position to another, or really doing anything where I'm not actively firing the gun or have my sights on target. So what does this one specifically do? I guess just really quick too, for reference, my experience with enhanced safeties, I have the Krebs custom enhanced safety on my Arsenal SLR 107, and I've been a really big fan of that, and I wanted to try something different, and this one kind of piqued my interest. So I guess among other things here, which is not necessarily unique among enhanced safeties, but some of the things that I like about this one is, first of all, it is built for a semi-auto trigger group. Now, that may sound weird for those of you not too familiar with the AK world, but a lot of the comm block guns being imported to the United States still maintain the full auto safety. Obviously, semi-auto fire control group, or excuse me, trigger and disconnector and all that, but a full auto safety. And basically what that means is it's a full profile safety, which if the safety for whatever reason becomes overextended, it goes above your dust cover, can actually release the hammer and cause a negligent discharge. I've seen it happen before myself. The semi-auto safeties are basically they cut a little notch out to make sure that if, when you're disassembling or doing anything else, if that safety overextends up, it will not discharge around. So that's one thing that I like about this. There's no filing that has to take place. It's just ready to go out of the box, for the semi-auto fire control groups that 99% of the people watching this video have, at least legally. Another thing that I like, it's a nice big shelf to get onto. Some might say it's too big. For me, I think it's an appropriate size, because one of the complaints I've seen from others, especially the Krebs one, is because it's got a slight taper to it. I've heard, haven't seen this myself, but I've heard of people saying that when you deactivate that safety, their finger will kind of slip out and onto that trigger and cause a negligent discharge. Because this thing is flat, perfectly perpendicular to the side of the receiver, the likelihood of that happening seems awfully low, but also because of the size of it, it causes a very positive area to put pressure on and reduces the likelihood of that happening. Again, that hasn't been my experience with other safeties, but I've heard of people talking about it, so I'm going to go ahead and mention it. Another thing is, at least on this specific rifle, it fulfills the sealing of this receiver very, very well. So the dust cover on this specific rifle kind of bumps out to be able to let the safety right up and in, and the fit is perfect on this one. Now, the AK market being what the AK market is, that may not be the case for all AKs out there. And one thing I definitely recommend doing before purchasing this safety is definitely go check out the website on the AK Operators Union store and make sure that this is compatible with your specific rifles, because each one's going to be a little bit different. The dust cover construction is going to be a little bit different, but on this one it matches up perfectly and creates a nice tight seal, which reduces the likelihood of foreign material getting in there and potentially affecting reliability. Other than that, you know, it simply works. I'm going to roll in some footage of me doing just some shooting with it, doing mag changes and all that, and you'll see that really no matter how much I fumble with the other steps of the process, the manipulation of the safety is very quick and easy and positive. A friend of mine who I have a tremendous amount of respect for has taken training with a certain individual who absolutely says do not have these on your rifle, and apparently one of the reasons they say that is when you're doing your mag changes or for whatever reason you have to charge the rifle, apparently they say there's a likelihood that you're going to accidentally push the safety up and possibly cause you to short stroke it or not chamber around or clear the malfunction or whatever is going on. And I can honestly say that has not ever been my experience with any enhanced safeties. Now, maybe I need to train more. I'm always open to that possibility, and I'm actively trying to do everything I can to get out and train as much as I can. But that's literally never been an issue. Now, that is subject to change. There could be a potential time where I run into that issue, and then from that point on, absolutely despise enhanced safeties like this one. I just don't see that ever being the case because, again, having done hundreds of mag changes with enhanced safeties, even in class environments where there's, you know, at least some sort of simulated stress, I've never had that issue. Meanwhile, it does actively make me more safe because if you've taken a fighting rifle class, a lot of times, that's not specific to any school, but one geared towards fighting with a rifle, a lot of times the AK guys, they just say, hey, it's not ideal, but when it's time to fight, take that safety off and leave it off until you're done. You know, if you're going from one position to another or anything else like that, they're not super adamant about putting it back on safe. Just make sure that finger is straight and off the trigger, ideally along the side of the receiver. And you just kind of have to make do with that due to the limited ergonomics. However, AR guys, if you're shooting from one position, as soon as those sights come off target, boom, safety on. And then get around cover, take safety off, fire around that side. As soon as sights come off target, boom, safety on. This allows me to manipulate it in that safe and effective way, but still doing it on an AK. So again, I can very easily come around one side of cover, drop the safety, put a couple rounds down. As soon as my sights come off target, pop it back up, change shoulders if I wanted to, and do everything I need to and still maintain a safe environment by using this safety. Now, as I just said, transitioning to left shoulder, this doesn't do a whole lot for lefties, and this doesn't really allow you to manipulate the safety left-handed. There are other safeties that allow you to do that. I know some of the Vepr style ones out there will allow you to do that. This one, not really meant for that, but as a righty, that's perfectly fine. I'm still working off a better sheet of music than I was before. And again, there's really not much to say other than that it just works, and I really like it, and I don't plan on replacing it. Now, they do have an option for one with the little cutout if you did want to go ahead and have the ability to lock the bolt open. Typically, I don't care about that too much. I'd rather just have the extra little seal to keep dirt and debris from getting into the receiver if I can. But that's, you know, just that's kind of the position that I'm in right now. So if you're interested in getting an enhanced safety to, again, increase the ergonomics of your rifle, definitely check out the AK Operators Union store. There are other places to get them online, but again, the thing that I like about these ones is it allows me to directly support a channel that's doing a lot of good for the internet AK community. His tests have kind of become the gold standard of AK tests out there, and I enjoy watching them, and I also really appreciate the kind of direct comparison that it allows us to make as consumers to make more informed purchases. So being able to support them a little bit while also getting quality products is kind of the best of all worlds there. Like I said, I did also get this pistol grip from there, and you might even be able to tell, depending on how well it shows up on camera, the little AKOU logo there. But that is a topic for another video, which I'll be posting towards the end of this week. So if you want to see more about that, definitely subscribe to my channel so you'll get an alert once that video gets posted. I do have a dedicated review of what this rifle started life as, and as I get more cemented in how this thing is set up, you'll see more and more reviews. Really, the main thing that I still need to do is figure out if this is the handguard setup I want to go with, and then I'm already kind of married to this gas tube up here, this railed gas tube from Midwest Industries. I just need to get a light mount so I can put a light on this, and then I think this thing will be totally squared away. But again, more stuff to come on that. I definitely want to give a shout out to my patrons for making videos like this one possible, being able to not only purchase the accessories to be able to test out and review for you guys, but also be able to afford the ammo to actually go out there and put rounds through it so I can give you a more informed opinion than just pulling it out of a box and saying, hey, yeah, it's great, cool, it works, and then actually not know if it works in any sort of practical sense. So I really do appreciate what the patrons do, which is why I post all the content to Patreon early, usually typically at least a day early. We also do periodic updates from the range. So like right now I got a Century Arms Visca in for testing, and every time I go out to the range, I film a little short video explaining, you know, how many rounds we put through it, what kind of things we experienced during the testing, and that way they can stay up to date as rifles are going through testing or pistols are going through testing, and they can just kind of be along for the ride. We also do live streams, we do giveaways, we have a Discord server set up so we can have a lot more direct interaction, and also allows people to interact with the other patrons who I have some very, very knowledgeable people who follow me, so if I can't answer your question, one of them certainly can. So anyway, with all that, I'll get off my soapbox, but I'll go ahead and just leave you by saying, if you don't already subscribe to AK Operators Union, definitely fix that. Check out their store, see what kind of accessories they have available, whether you want muzzle brakes, safeties, hand guards, anything else. Definitely worth taking a look over there. Their shipping is wicked fast. I don't know how they ship it so quickly, but like literally, I think they have a portal to different parts of the country to be able to ship stuff as fast as they do. So it's really kind of a win-win situation. You're supporting a good channel, you get decent prices, and it shows up really quick. But anyway, with all that said, as always, I hope you got something out of this video, and I really appreciate you watching.